Welcome back to another edition of The Jump. I'm Kieran McDonald, and today we're going to talk about recruiting. Specifically, how do I know if my recruit's going to succeed, right? You just got in that new hot shot from, I don't know, Modern Day or IMG or somewhere. You know, maybe they're from LASA, we got to be open to all perspectives here. And you're ready to recruit, right? You're ready to get them in and get them playing. But you've heard rumors about the bust. The famous bust, where a recruit, they're so highly recruited, they're so hyped up out of high school, and then all of a sudden they fall flat in college. Or they're so hyped up out of college and they fall flat in the NFL. These things are common problems, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a guideline of how to avoid that. And if you're a recruit, maybe a little bit of guideline, a little bit of I've talked to some experts in this, what to look for and what to prioritize if you want to get recruited, if you want to stand out and not be a bust. So, the first thing we're going to get into here is how they play is more important than how they look. So you have some guys that are like maybe 6'5", 250, and they're just these huge, massive guys. And they look great. You know, they look like a football player. They look strong, they look physical, they look intimidating, they look fast, right? How they actually show that on the field is much more important than how they look, right? If you look aggressive, but on the field you're getting, say you're a linebacker, right, and you're not taking over and dominating and pushing through blocks, right, then you're not as good as you look, right? If you're a cornerback that is, looks really good, but then is afraid to tackle, right, there's a lot of different factors that go into it, and how you play and how you look on the field should be your utmost priority, right? Maybe focus a little less on the weight room and a little more on the film room and on the way they look on film and the way they look on that if you're trying to recruit or trying to determine if somebody will be a bust. Now, the other thing is results in high school are not equal to success in college. Just because this guy, whatever recruit you're viewing, has, if he's playing on defense, maybe he has, 160 tackles in a season and 20, 30, 40 tackles for loss, and then like 10 sacks and 2 interceptions and 7 forced fumbles, whatever you want to say. Even though the stat line may be like, wow, that kid is really good, that doesn't necessarily mean they'll equal success in college. Even if they look good on the field, it doesn't necessarily mean they'll look good in success in college, although that is a much better indicator because habits on the field are going to translate directly to college, whereas results are not necessarily going to. And what I mean by that is in high school, everybody plays different levels of competition, right? There's, your 1A to your 6A in Texas, or, they have all these different classifications based on how big the school is, and then somewhat how good they are at football. So, you have to be able to understand that someone who plays a schedule against, if you're a 4A football player, it may be that you are not a great football player, you're just a better athlete. And if you can out-athlete teams, we see this all the time, like what Notre Dame will do to Navy when they play. Navy is great team. Really, I respect the hell out of the midshipmen. I would be honored to be accepted to the Naval Academy one day. All of these things. But Notre Dame has better athletes. And even though maybe they're not the best at stopping the triple option, maybe their defense isn't the best of it, and even though it is a hard offense to stop, they're able to do it because they're bigger and stronger and faster. Not necessarily because they're better at actually playing the game of football on the X's and O's. So kind of understand where I'm coming from there, right? That aspect of it. The third thing is that your work ethic, right? The amount of players that will get really talented and get 30 offers and get a 5-star rating from 24/7 or wherever the hell, then in college they won't work very hard, right? They'll ride their freshman year, sleepwalk through the weightlifting sessions, sleepwalk through the field sessions, not get much better in practice. And then they're a high school level player, a very good high school level player playing at a college level. So, you have to understand that just because someone is good now doesn't necessarily mean they will continue to improve, or has potential to improve does not mean they will improve. So work ethic is a very key component. And some of this is you have to get to know the recruit, right? Go look at their social media. Go look at and put that out. If you're a recruit, put that out. Put out your work ethic. Talk about it. and promote that about yourself as the best, one of your best aspects, because coaches love that, and that's what leads to not being a bust, because you're going to continue to work and continue to strive for that next level of play. The other thing is the weight room isn't king, right? There's Michigan strength and conditioning coaches have talked about this, that I've seen places. Lots of strength and conditioning coaches will talk about this, that just because you can squat 600 pounds, it doesn't make you a good football player. And well, that's a very impressive lift, and that's an impressive athletic accomplishment on its own. It does not transfer to the field directly. If you're not working, if you're not working in meaningful ways and translating that to the field and using that power you develop to translate it to the field, then, there's not a direct connection. You do not lift weights. You don't squat in football. Like, you squat down and then power out, right? But you're not literally squatting with a barbell on your back, right? You've got arms involved, you got your whole body involved, something like that. So while it's important and you need to build strength, don't see that 500-pound bench, 800-pound squat and go, oh my gosh, this kid's the next, whatever he is. This kid's the next, Jason Kelsey, this kid's the next Trey, whoever they represent at their position. Just don't think that they're the next great thing because they're showing out and showing up in the weight room. Now, the next thing is, do they work with the program? And this can be with an NFL team, with a college team, with anything. Do they work, right? Are they going to fit in with the culture? There are different types of football culture. There's your primetime Colorado culture, which personally is not a good football culture for me, and I think for a lot of other players, and also just as in general, I don't think it leads to winning. And then there's the Michigan style, think everybody, it's a brotherhood. They're truly, fulfilling their responsibilities and thinking about the rest of the team. And that is, to me, the best football culture. But do they fit with that, right? Are they a hot shot, or are they going to be able to do their job in the team and be one player among a lot of very good players? And while they will stand out at their position, not try to do too much or think they own the team. Now, this next factor I think you may not think about, but is there something unique, right? Is what's different about them? What makes them different from the other guys? What makes them different from recruits that have come before them? What makes them different from the recruits in their class? Is there something unique? Is it freak athleticism? Is it the ability to have a crazy vision for the game, right, like a Luke Kuechly? Is it wild physicality and a crazy mental space like a Ray Lewis or like a Troy Polamalu, things like that? Are they just really good at picking apart the game, putting the ball in the right place, like Tom Brady, right? What is it? Are they, freak athletic? Are they just crazy like Patrick Mahomes, right? What is it? What is their unique thing? And what is something that they play that is different, right? Because no two people play the game the same way. So if you play the game differently than another player at your position does, those little differences, if that makes you a little better, or if it just makes you unique, as unique fit for something, that is what you want. Those little unique things that makes you stand out, right? If you do crazy things on film, or, there's a highlight of you hurdling a guy and then doing all that, right? That changes it. That definitely stands out and gives you something unique. And then, I'm getting down to a last couple of points here, but the first point is, how do they talk about themselves, right? Are they boastful? Are they humble, right? All of these things, and that kind of goes with culture and do they work with the program, but all of these things are going to factor in. Are they a loudmouth? Are they going to be, are they saying that, oh yes, I'm good, but I've got more work to do? Are they hungry? Are they, resting on their laurels? All of these things, how they characterize themselves and what foot they decide they want to put forward matters. So again, if you're just a fan, go look at that social media. If you're a coach, go look at that social media. And if you're a player, make sure your social media, your presence, what you say to your teammates, what your coach thinks about you is in line with what you want to be thought as. And the last couple of things is, first, are they a dog? Like, is there something tangible? Is there that aggressive? Is there that will to compete? Is there that will to win that you see in so many of the greatest players, right? There's something different that sets them apart mentally. Are they different from the rest of their team in high school? Are they different from the rest of your team in college, right? If they've got that just that one mental thing, that can be the difference between being a skinny kid from Michigan and the greatest quarterback ever, right? Those little, just that mental drive, that mental ability to lock in and work for your goal and be committed and then show it out on the field and go crazy. That is very important, and that's not a tenable thing, but it's something that you can see in film and just combined in your evaluation of the recruit. And the last thing is locker room presence, right? There are some slots on FBS rosters that are filled because that guy is a great leader, because he's a great locker room presence. Maybe his 40 is a little bit slower, but coaches are able to look past just the numbers, the shuttle number, the vertical jump, how many reps did you do on bench press, and all of that. So that is all, you can get past that. And, there are guys that have made the team over arguably better people physically because of their locker room presence, because they're a leader, because the coach knows that they are on the same page with that guy, and they're going to get locked in together, and they're going to succeed together, and they have that same drive. Just wanted to talk to y'all about a lot of different things that go into this recruiting boom or bust as the 2024 class is starting to enter camps and spring football and all of that, and the 2025 class is starting to, starting to feel out where they want to go and all of that. And also with the combine happening around this time, all of those things, there's a lot of talk about recruiting. There's the kind of the talk of the town. It's all we got to talk about right now. But those are some keys to make sure you don't have a Mac Jones and you don't have that kind of, end up with that kind of a flop. I'm sorry, Mac Jones, but it's true. So, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Drop a like, drop a comment. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I could do better. Tell me I'm great. All of the above is wonderful. And to me, I think it's most important that y'all enjoy our content, and we're really trying to do the best, to produce the best that we can for you. So go follow us on Spotify and then on Instagram. Listen to the podcast and do all these kinds of things. And I promise you will be more football smart and more ready to be a more thinking and a more reasoning fan come this next season. So thank you, and have a great night.